Now the chapter 6, which are anatomy of flowering plants. As I have already told, anatomy means in your laboratory the permanent slides will be there. The section, transverse section, TS or LS of stem. If you cut stem or leaf or root, cut it with the blade and keep on thin slice of the slide and observe under microscope, you can see the different arrangement. Regarding that we are going to discuss today. So in this, anatomy means nothing but internal structure of the plants. So the tissues, the plant tissues, what involved in it, the tissue system, and anatomy of dicot and monocot plants we are going to discuss. So the all living organisms on planet made up of cells. So cell is the basic unit. So the branch of biology that deals with study of internal structure of organisms is called anatomy. The morphology is different, anatomy is different. Don't get confused. So the tissues will be the group of cells which are having same origin and structure. So based on the type, here the tissues they have given in this video, the tissues which are basic types, which are like meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Based on origin, meristematic tissues are generally promeristem, primary meristem. Like based on position, it will be apical, intercalary, lateral. So meristematic tissue is nothing but to divide, means like undifferentiated, immature, and embryonic cells capable of continuous division, mitotic cell division happens. Those are called meristems. See, the diagrams will be there. So these which are like based on position, which are apical meristems, are important in root and shoot. Okay, so that is called primary tissues, which are, see the diagram. The diagram of apical root is the root tip we have discussed already, where there they have given some tissues which are the, all they didn't draw here little bit, but it is the internal structure which is there, a single cell and nucleus, you see the root apical meristem. And this is the apical bud. See the apical bud, that is on the shoot at the tip where the plant leaves and the flower bud comes. That is the we are going to discuss. So these apical meristems generally for the root or stem, these meristems present on extremely tip of shoot or root anywhere. So if you take suppose the single cell of this, if you see this single cell, the diagram will be isodiametric shape, which is hexagonal or like oval shape, sometime polygonal. The cells arranged without internal, see the no intercellular spaces between cell to cell. There is no internal, for some cells it will be intercellular spaces. Here for no intercellular spaces. So the outer cell wall contains cellulose and hemicellulose, and the nucleus will be present there. The mitotic division happens in the center of the cell. The mitotic division happens there, where the you have you will learn in next chapter the cell division, mitosis in vegetative cells. So the vacuoles are absent. There is a cytoplasm, no vacuoles. Plastid present, meristem present at a, they don't have any like organic substances, all these. So based on origin, it will be primary and secondary meristem. But here we are going to discuss about apical, intercalary, or lateral meristems. See the stems which are near nodes, sidewise lateral buds. There the lateral meristems are growing on. The lateral, see the lateral green part, this one is there. These are lateral because it is sidewise. Apical, which is the tip. So when you go to this, see the descriptive part of this, what is intercalary, secondary, these we are going to discuss now. So they have given these buds present in axil of leaves. are capable of forming a branch. The branch can come. So the meristem which occur between mature tissues is called intercalary. They occur in grasses and regenerate parts removed by grazing herbivores. So both apical and intercalary meristems are primary. So which are like produce woody axis, those are secondary. After primary meristem it comes, that is why it is called secondary, or else lateral. That is apical, this is lateral. That is primary, this is secondary. That is the differences also. If suppose they ask between differences between this, you can write this. That is what even in lateral meristems only. See, apical meristem will help in more number of cells, help in linear growth of the increase the length of the plant body to become plant total tall. This apical meristem will be helpful. Intercalary will be between nodes. So leaf that help in linear growth of the plant so to happen photosynthesis, then it will be sidewise. So lateral meristem where it contains vascular cambium, example, or cork cambium. The lateral meristems are responsible for increasing thickness of the plant. Thickness of the plant become tree. Secondary growth, that is nothing but these meristems which present towards the lateral side, sidewise. That is why in lawn, if they suppose cut in the tips, the lawn won't be, it will spread in lateral way, side way, it will be equally. That is what it is called even secondary growth. So these further divided into procambium, protoderm, which we are going to learn further. So here they have told, we have learned about now about, see, meristems, those are we have learned already. Now we are going to permanent tissues. Again, permanent tissues are two types, which are like simple tissues and complex. The simple tissues will be parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So complex will be like which are vascular conducting tissues. Those are xylem and phloem. So now I am starting with the simple tissues. See the diagram which is inside. There are those are parenchymas, intercellular spaces are present. So see this, the definition of simple tissues, only one type of cells. There are nothing like inside and all. See the parenchyma forms major component. So these are the simple, like cell wall and cytoplasm will be there, nucleus will be there. So functions are photosynthesis. The parenchyma helps in photosynthesis and respiration, and buoyancy in parenchyma. Again, they are differentiated into three types based on that, which are chlorenchyma, which are in leaves, palisade and spongy. You will learn in monocot leaf and dicot leaf. There you will understand. So parenchyma, where it will be there, the plant which is in water to float in the water, the buoyancy, the cells which are helpful for those are called parenchyma. So you see the diagrams, then we will describe about, see the, they have given parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. See the parenchyma I have told, the second one you see this one, which is collenchyma. See the diagram which are contains here the center white portion and then green, then these will be there. What are those? Suppose the cells are isodiametric polygonal like that, but it contains um, angular collenchyma. It contains cellulose as the cell wall or pectin, and large vacuole is present. You see the large vacuole, and sometime it will be, this is actually living mechanical tissue. The collenchyma is a living mechanical tissue. That is parenchyma is a living, that is also living tissue. There are sclerenchyma, the third one, that is the dead tissue. Why it is a dead mechanical or like this, we will understand further. See this collenchyma. The types also, sometime based on shape, angular, lamellar, lacunar collenchyma, and then sclerenchyma will be again the sclerids, a fiber, the fiber they are showing. See this fiber, the tall portion which is in C fiber, they have written pink one, tall one, that is a fiber, the description. So the fibers are but sclerenchyma is a loose protoplasm, highly lignified and narrow lumen, but fibers are elongated, long, tapering at the ends, hexagonal shape, contains lignin. They might ask for single mark, the cell, the tissue which contains lignin. You can write fibers. So even sclerenchyma especially will be helpful in giving mechanical support. That is why these are mechanical tissues, but dead mechanical tissues. The fibers found in hypodermis of monocot, in the structure of monocot stem pericycle, you will learn this. You will understand there. The scleroid is like center jalebi kind. See the scleroids. Okay, the cells are spherical. The lumen is present in the center, the pith towards end, and the thick cell wall is present. So based on the scleroids, whether it is a spherical or oval, highly lignified, the lignin is present more. It is rigid. Because of this rigidity, the cells are called stone cells. They might ask as a give the example of stone cells, then you can write the scleroids, like suppose they haven't mentioned here, but in neat point of view they might ask brachyscleroids, the cells which are isodiametric in shape, the macroscleroids which are large and pillar like, the osteoscleroids bone shape, like that. So the fibers are, see the descriptive, the definition, I hope you understand. So I'm going to the complex tissues. See, the complex tissues are mainly these xylem and phloem. So why these are called complex permanent? Because the tissues made up of different type of cells. It is more than one type, like xylem, protoxylem, metaxylem, which are at the tip. Those are called proto, meta. Okay, you will in a one time you won't understand. Further keep on explaining will make you understand. So these are, see the xylem diagram here, tracheids, which they have shown the first diagram, which is in red. The trachid and vessels, what is the difference also? Suppose the xylem is generally wood, for it is conducting like water, especially in the plant which is in upward from root to stem, the water should goes, means in our how blood vessels, like that here. So here these only will conduct the water to go and support all the other parts to enter water. Phloem will be in both directions, which go root to plant tip, and again water goes, and whatever food materials will happen in leaves, that will come down. So phloem is the bidirectional. That is the difference. So here tracheids are also dead cells, which are like elongated at the tapering ends, and these are liquefied. See the cell center, there are, it depends on different, like sometimes it is annular rings, spiral rings, depending on scalariform, reticulate, even these most of the time which are present in pteridophytes and gymnosperms. If you suppose go to vessels, it will be like vessels, it will be like what is that, it will be much more thicker, larger, and sap will be more. And these are also sometimes difference, spiral shape and annular shape, and these reticulate and pitted, the tracheids and trachea. So the tracheids are the, like compared to trachea, like that. So the xylem parenchyma and sclerenchyma, see the diagram here, and see the diagram, phloem tissues, you have seen this. See this, the pore which is present here, that is sieve pore, and the element which is the from cell to cell, it is sieve tube element. See the sides which are phloem parenchyma. See the companion cells. So when these sieve elements, depending on that, these are whether living or dead. Only phloem fibers are dead. All sieve elements are living only. So the sieve elements which are coming here, sieve cells, present in most of the time pteridophyte and gymnosperms. Sieve cells are not associated with companion cell. So these are elongated, long, and enucleate, living cells interconnected. Then without nucleus sometime, with the nucleus. So depending on that, these are again the sieve tubes are suppose if they give sieve tubes are tubular cells with perforated walls which contain large vacuole and no nucleus in sieve tubes, peripheral cytoplasm at the ends only cytoplasm. So transport food materials from leaves to other plant parts. These will be helpful. So what is the difference with companion cells? Here the companion cells are connected to sieve cells present in angiosperm. So it regulates the metabolic activities. So phloem parenchyma, the parenchyma which is present phloem, that is also same. Everything like a nucleus sometime are elongated long, support sieve tubes, and also stores compound like starch. Phloem fibers which are phloem parenchyma present in jute. So again, suppose if they ask differences between xylem phloem, I hope you can write. But when it is proto and meta, then first formed is called proto, and meta is later. So meta is bigger. So the xylem is always dead cells. The phloem is living. So the unidirectional and bidirectional, the xylem will be transport water and transport. So the xylem will be at centrovascular bundle, but that is sides. So again I move on to, I hope you understood, but again I'm moving on to the tissue system. When together these are, see that exarch endarch also, where the primary xylem all together exarch and endarch. So epidermal tissue system and the tissue system, when they're telling, see this, when they are telling outermost covering of the plant body, which ensures protection. Okay, all these tissues together it forms a epidermal tissue system. So the which is the epidermis outer. Okay, stomata contain guard cells, epidermal appendages, trichomes and ear. So that now you will understand the TSF anatomy. There you will understand what is the epidermis. So when, so what this epidermal tissue system? So epidermis, single continuous layer. Okay, prevent loss of water. This prevent loss of water, and cells are all parenchymatous cells. So large vacuole which are see this. Okay, still I'm in epidermis only. I will tell you some points. So cuticle waxy outer layer except in roots. Root epidermis, in roots epidermis present, but in stem it is epidermal hairs. So I'm moving on to the stomata. See the stomata diagram here. See the stomata diagram. What it is, there is pores present on lower surface, not will be on upper surface. Actually in practical it will be there. If you do suppose the thin layer of the lower layer, if you suppose take you take that layer and observe under microscope, Then you will see thin layer of some specific plants. The stomata, you can see these kind many green like structures. These are like only because of this only the transpiration happens, nothing but morning if you see observe the any plant outside or anywhere, the water droplets will be there on top. These are because of these stomata only. Pores present on surface. Okay, those pore plus guard cells plus subcells of leaves. It regulates exchange of gases and water vapor between external air and interior of the leaf. So pores surrounded by like kidney shape. This will be like kidney shaped cells. So the pore surrounded by pair of a kidney shaped cells is called guard cells. See that. The if you see the diagram carefully, it will be like kidney, two beans shape. Center is stomatal aperture from where water comes outside. Then chloroplast is there on the kidney shaped this thing, dark green. Then upon that subsidiary cells, upon that it's like flower like structure, epidermal cells. So the outer thin walls which are like adaxial surface, abaxial surface, they will say. But in grass, these stomata will be like dumbbell shaped. So opening of stomata and closing of stomata, and these all happen factors affecting based on these guard cells will swell up when water moves from other cell to guard cells and inner walls are rigid, they bend, pore increases or open up, pore increases, decreases like that. So when absence of sunlight, it will be shrinking. There is no sunlight means the guard cell will be no photosynthesis, so these things going to happen. So there are a lot to write about stomata. So the complete structure is called stomatal apparatus. So next is the cells of epidermal. Here after stomata, the root hairs which are like outgrowth which are from epidermal cells, those are called trichomes. In some it is called unicellular elongations are called trichomes. It helps in the root hairs which are root hairs you will see on the root itself. So that will be helpful in water and mineral absorption. Whereas trichomes are multicellular, root hairs are unicellular. Trichomes are, it help in preventing water loss. Okay, the water loss won't happen. Based on that, again the first, second, that is the epidermal tissue system. Now I am moving on to second one, which is in tissue system together, all tissues together, ground tissue system. Okay, the ground tissue systems contains these are nothing but all tissues that are neither dermal or nor vascular. Okay, that is why these are nothing but parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma will come under this. So these parenchyma are present in cortex generally. Okay, the structure when I show you will understand that. So the round structures will draw. So these pericycle with medullary rays in the center. So the in primary stems and roots. So ground tissue consists thin wall chloroplast containing mesophyll. It is called. See the next part, which is the third vascular system. If suppose they ask these three types, you have to write for the 5 marks if they give types of the vascular tissues. So the vascular tissue system is, see the arrangement like flower structure, which are a xylem and phloem. See the brown structures which are xylem and the side structures are phloem. The phloem which is up, these are vascular bundles. Xylem and phloem together calls vascular bundles because these are only vascular tissues also. These are nothing but conducting tissues also. The open vascular system, uh, vascular bundle cambium present between the, see the next diagram. See the cambium present between the in some phloem and xylem. See this. Okay. I think the cambium is absent in xylem and phloem and radial conjoint vascular. Okay. The hope you understood the basic type of see these tissue systems. The next lesson will be anatomy of these monocot dicot plants. And thank you.